Hello everyone, my name is Professor Z, and for the first time in a while, oof, it really has been a while, today I'm coming out of lab to continue my coverage of the Abyss Manga with Chapter 40 titled A Life's End Result. So, jumping right into it, we start off this chapter with a better look at the structure from the last chapter. And I say structure because I don't know about you, but it looks a bit too fleshy to be any kind of normal abode. Nanachi then spots the same marking on the structure that was left on the drawing from before. Believing that there's a connection between the two, the gang heads for what seems to be the entrance of the structure in hopes of finding Prushka. Upon arriving at the bridge, Reg picks up on a strange noise, and we get a quick glimpse of a strange figure that then fades out of sight. After crossing the bridge, we're greeted with what else but strung up severed limbs, the clear upgrade to wind chimes. Instead of a door, the structure is a kind of foggy force field, very similar to the one on the altar that brought the group down to the 6th layer. This door doesn't just keep out the elements though, it seems to cut off the force field itself. So Reg enthusiastically volunteers to enter first, only to be outdone by Manya. Congrats, Reg, you got outdone by a cream puff with legs. So, we get to the structure and find that the inside is completely constructed of human body parts. I don't know about you, but that's my favorite construction material. Screw Legos, give me the parts of my enemies any day. Well, the group pushes forward and we find ourselves in a village. But not just any village, this is the Narahede village. This is something else, because up until this point, the only Narahede that was more than just a moving blob that we've known of is Nanache. So to have created an entire village, there must be more Narahede with high intelligence. We get a glimpse of 3 prominent Narahede, as well as many smaller ones. Our group is then approached by a machine-esque Narahede, who introduces itself as Maji Kaja. Maji then identifies the group as Delvers and welcomes them. Riko then asks if Maji took her white whistle, in which Maji responds that it's being worked on by a specialist, and instructs the group to follow them. Though hesitant at first, Riko's group follows Maji, and then they in turn are followed by a large wave of Narahede of all shapes and sizes. So the group is led to a staircase leading up, which would usually be a one-way trip to getting hit upside the head by the curse. But Nanache states that for some reason the force field doesn't exist within the village, so the group proceeds without being hindered. As they ascend the staircase, the gang addresses the Narahede of the village. Nanache brings up how these Narahede differ from the ones they've seen before, those differences being their body structure and their intelligence. How did they all come to be? The possibility of white will soul experiments like bone druids exists, but it's still uncertain. After reaching the top of the stairs, the group is led into a workshop, where a Narahede is reconstructing Riko's white whistle. Apparently, Prushka is incomplete. She is raw material that needs to be shaped into an instrument. Only then can she truly be used. What is Prushka's true purpose? We'll have to find out. But until Prushka is finished, Maji leads the group into a market. On the way, we get a short conversation where Maji explains that he too is an Narahede, and that his body is constructed of smells, and that the body is merely a container. Upon arriving at the market, we find out that things work on a bartering system in which things of value can be exchanged for things of equal value. Riko actually stumbles upon a page from her mother's notes, possibly from a prior attempt of her sending the message balloons, and she wants to purchase it. Well, it's here where we learn what's considered valuable. In this case, it's Riko's body. Her hair, skin, eyes, all of it is considered valuable. Children especially have high value. Maji even offers to buy Riko whole. Of course, she refuses to sell herself or her friends, and Maji gives up, stating that stealing value is the heaviest of sins. We get a good look at the money in this village, which has the same symbol that we've seen before. The group decides to move around the market to gather information about who may have taken Prushka and left the note from earlier. We meet various Narahede trading various things, and we find out a little bit of how these Narahede came to be. Unlike the Narahede we've met before, these Narahede are previous Delvers who gave in to their desires, giving up their natural bodies and freedom in exchange for a body of their desires and protection from the Abyss. It's similar to Nanache, for she was given the Naruhede form and protection from the Abyss through the sacrifice of another's desires instead of her own, which is where they differ. Now, as the market becomes more crowded, Riko and Manya get separated from the group, and the Naruhede begin to be a bit too violent with Manya, which leads it to being stabbed. And, well, that's where the chapter comes to an end. So, the events of this chapter are very unexpected. First is the introduction of the Naruhede village. Up until this point, Naruhede have been depicted as a sort of man-made creation, through suffering and loss. But in this case, they're made by some kind of force within the village. We're also introduced to the concept of trading value. I look forward to seeing how the concept of value plays into this chapter of the story. We still don't know who took Prushka, and what changing Prushka's form will do, so we'll have to continue and wait for that. So that's all for this chapter. Hopefully it won't take me another month to review chapter 41, but with college going on right now, I can't make any promises. But I'll try my best to get it out in a reasonable amount of time. I also plan on doing full season reviews for Dr. Stone Season 2, as well as a few other anime premiering right now, so stay tuned for all of that. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving it a like and subscribing for more content in the future. This has been Professor Z, and I will see you all next time.